This 26 Sports and CCTV high school basketball presentation is brought to you by Munson Healthcare Cadillac Rehab Services.
And welcome back to Cadillac High School. Another fine rendition of the national anthem there under the direction of Mike Filkins, the Cadillac Pep Band. Doing a great job. Jay Simon alongside Kevin Gregory. We've got a great one for you tonight. Boys Big North basketball action. The Alpena Wildcats have made the trip to the west to take on the Vikings in a rematch of a contest held in Alpena on January 6th. The Wildcats came away with the 11-point win in that one, and on Fan Appreciation Night here in Cadillac, the Vikings looking for a little payback.
Always good to get a little home cooking, little payback. It gets crazy up in here on some Friday nights. I'd be loving the ball night. Look at the kid. We got to get a shot of that in the band.
Yeah,
he's got a straight pink pants, pink suit blazer. Rest in peace, Craig Sager. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yes, there he is.
He's even got rose-colored glasses on. That's
so nice.
Spectacular. We're getting the starting lineups right now, so let's run them down for you. For the visiting Alpena Wildcats, they have 4 sophomores on the roster. All 4 sophomores will start. Number 11, Aiden Goike. Number 12, Bruz Copping. Number 33, Chris DeRocher, the 6'4 sophomore. And number 34, Logan Guthrie. And then number 23, 6'3" senior Cameron DeCare will round out your starting 5 for the Wildcats. As we mentioned in the opening, DeRocher poured in 25 against the Vikings back in early January. The Vikings being introduced right now, going through their little pregame stuff. Yeah, so they all got
their shenanigans, their hijinks.
I think my favorite of all 5 is the Cooper Benson one, where he gets patted down like they're just checking him for weapons kind of thing. That one's kind of fun. Juniors Keegan Brooks, Cooper Benson, and Vinny Genema start for the Vikings. Senior Clayton McCarthy, who's just been an animal on the boards during this 4-game winning streak. And then freshman Tip Baker, who actually paced the Vikings with 16 points in that game back on January 6th. But this is a fairly different Viking team coming into this one.
Yeah, he's been a nice little addition for Cadillac this year. You know, as a freshman, you never know how they're going to respond on varsity, but he's handled it well. He takes over the point guard job quite often, you know, for Keegan, and he's been able to add some outside scoring.
McCarthy and DeRocher will tip. And it is controlled initially by the Vikings, and then Alpena picks it up. You got to establish all 3 on one side, Kevin. Got to establish all 3 on one side.
What? I didn't say anything.
Quick 3 off the bat. And Aiden Goike, they're going to say his toe was on the line, so it's a 2-pointer. And the Wildcats immediately take a 2-0 lead.
First possession, I shouldn't throw my arms up. Let it rest. Let it sit.
Vikings Nice look down low. I think Guthrie thought a shot was going up, so Brooks decides, hey, all right, here. Takes the three. He was actually defending McCarthy without looking at him with his back to him. There's another three ball. Bruz copying off the mark. McCarthy with the rebound for Cadillac. Early here in the first, 2-0 Alpena. Benson. This is McCarthy, swung around Baker to Brooks in front of the Alpena bench. Down low for Genema. Turn around, won't go. Ball batted around, ends up with Genema. Benson straightaway three, good. Cooper Benson showing the sophomore Aiden Goike, this is how you get your toes behind the line, son.
Cadillac doing what they do this last 4 games, starting off with a couple of shot opportunities, hitting the offensive glass early.
We're going to leave Goike alone, and that may be a very, very bad idea. Aiden Goike that time was behind the line, and it's a 5-3 Alpena lead.
That's a nice looking jump shot. I know you missed the first one, but we probably don't want to be 10 feet off them if you're Cadillac.
Baker, topside Brooks. Benson, defended by Copping, challenging that kid on the Kalkaska for best beard of the year so far. Benson off the curl, no good. Another skying rebound by Vinny Genema. Genema and McCarthy have got to have like 70 inches in combined vertical. There's a throwaway though, and here comes Goike for the Wildcats. He'll kick it out. DeRocher with his first look, no good, and the rebound into the hands of Benson. 5:43 to go here in the opening quarter.
Ready for my Rafferty? Both teams starting out.
Minute! And there's a poke away as DeCare, the senior, misses the layup. Will get it back and then gets it over the top of Brooks. Keegan Brooks with some nice defense to force the initial miss, but DeCare with no Viking helping out and getting back, able to get his own miss and put back. Benson working against Copping. Trying to get it down low for McCarthy, and there's going to be a foul call. DeRocher is incredulous, but I don't believe they're calling it on him. I think this is going to be on Logan Guthrie.
Last couple games, Cadillac's been able to jump out to a nice 5-7 point cushion right off the get. Today it's a little different story.
Brooks too strong on the three, and the rebound into the hands of DeCare. Up ahead for DeRocher, off the glass, no, the tip though by Guthrie on the follow. Nice job by Logan Guthrie, and Alpena has taken a 9-3 lead. 4:45 to go here in the opening quarter. Nice look down low for Brooks, curling, and he missed the bunny. Into the hands of Genema, rejected by DeRocher. And a loose ball into the hands of Goike. Quick three from DeCare. McCarthy with the board. Brooks trying the baseline, and they're going to get a cheap one on Copping on the outside. These Wildcats, Kevin, jumped out to a 14-2 lead on Cadillac at home. They held the lead through the end of every quarter. Cadillac trimmed it to 4 late in that game, but couldn't come all the way back. Baker in the corner.
2-3.
Yep, Alpena giving him a different look.
I always like when a team switches up defensively. Even if you have the lead and what you started doing was working and let you jump out to the 6-point lead, I always liked throwing a bunch of different looks at the opposing team. If it's a half-court, trap the first pass or trap the dribbler when he crosses half-court, something to always make them think what set they should be getting into.
Aiden Goike called for the kicked ball, so they'll reset the shot clock. DeRocher with the steal. Here come the Wildcats. 3:45 to go here in the first. No, kids, there is no shot clock in high school basketball, in case you're wondering. Looking down low, and Benson with great position on DeRocher. That's where that entry pass, Kevin, I'm going to put my color analyst hat on for a second, needs to be a little higher.
Yes, it does.
Genema with the miss from 15. And here come the Wildcats the other way.
Well, you never want to make that pass from the top of the key. It's never a good idea.
DeCare in and out, and McCarthy with the rebound. 3:10 to go here in the first. It's still a 6-point Alpena lead as both teams have cooled off a touch here in the last couple of minutes.
Unless you stretch that defense where there's 4 guys outside the 3-point line and you only have 1 defender in there. There's just too many hands from that angle.
Genema to a cutting McCarthy. Contact inside, no call either way. And McCarthy's able to get it to go.
They got that bucket there, Cadillac did, but clearly Alpena's seen something because Cadillac likes to run their offense through a post player, and every time they throw it to a block, you watch, there's an Alpena coming to double down, so they're getting trapped down there on the block, and it's caused a couple of turnovers early.
Copping with a pass that didn't look like it was going to anybody, taken away by the Vikings, and there's going to be a foul call on the floor. Logan Guthrie, I heard you mumbling. Yeah, Guthrie kind of looking around like, what did I do?
Well,
you can't just run along with your back.
I was so glad they called that because he knew what he was doing. He had his back to the player like, oh, I don't know he's there, and you guys can't see me, but he was like totally riding him with his back.
I'm trying to mark the foul, and you just made it. Look at that.
I'm sorry. I know you hate that. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But, yeah, you can't do that. You know what you were doing, 34. Come on now. Come on now. Good try.
Guthrie will sit down with his second foul. And here's a steal. It will end up in the hands of DeRocher. And we're going to get a foul on Tip Baker before the pass, so this will be on the floor. And the Wildcats will inbound. Walker Martin, the junior, has checked in for Alpena for the foul-saddled Logan Guthrie. Trying to get it into DeRocher. Couldn't handle the bounce pass, and here come the Vikings. And another steal by Goike. Boy, it's everywhere. 2-on-1. Goike will take it all the way to the rack. Can't get it to go. There's a block by Genema. Genema nearly got a piece of DeRocher's ball, and the Vikings come away with it. Now there's a scrum. And there's a block by Genema right in front of the student section, which does not like it, but Logan Pinger is going to go to the line for Alpena.
Yeah, we've seen a little bit of everything here in the last couple of minutes. We've seen a couple of the touch fouls, we've seen a couple of scrums allowed, so trying to get a feel for the flow of the game, both teams and the officials.
Coach Benzenberg having a little conversation there on the left side of your screen with one of the officials who's very patiently giving him an explanation. It's always nice to see. Substitutions for the Vikings as Cale Mickelson and Jake Kahani will check into the game. Kahani, the massive offensive lineman for the Vikings, who has been giving them some quality minutes down low. A couple of good-looking free throws from Logan Pinger, and the Wildcats have a 10-5 lead with 2 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Here's Baker. Freshman cut off, swings it out. Benson, open look for 3. And battling for the rebound was Kohani with Pinger. We'll see who they get this on. We're going the other way, so it's got to be on the Vikings. They called that on Baker.
It's his second.
Swing pass, Martin into the lane. DeCare lost the handle, and this is going to go off of Alpena. And based on the outstretched, upturned hands, I'm going to assume the Wildcats feel it did not go off them. Nonetheless.
I can't see real good. Was that John Emmington? No, that was Keegan Brooks on that little John Emmington wraparound right there. It's his patented move. I'm going to let you buy me, but I'm going to poke it from behind.
That's right. It's the Olay defense. Brooks defended by DeRocher, trying to go baseline, finds Kahani in the middle. And the rebound corralled by DeCare. Here comes Goike and the Wildcats. Minute 15 to go here in the first. Goike uses the screen. Into the middle. Quick little 15. No, it wasn't a shot. It was actually a pass attempt for DeRocher, who can't get it to go, but he's going to go to the line for a pair. Boy, Logan Pinger completely fooled me. I thought that was a quick 15-footer, and it was
I was surprised he threw it down there. I mean, DeRocher was posted, and he had two guys in the front of him, and there was nobody behind him to bracket him, so to speak, but that was just a really tough angle entry pass with not a lot of room. We got away with it that time, but it's not high percentage, that's for sure.
Minute 7 to go here in the opening quarter as we get a couple substitutions. Copping will check back in. DeCare will sit down for the Wildcats. Interestingly, Chris DeRocher, who, as mentioned, had the 25 points for Alpena in the first matchup, has just registered his first point of this game with a minute left in this first quarter. 12-5 Alpena. As we said, jumped out to a 14-2 lead at home. Doing something similar here in Cadillac. Mickelson for McCarthy. Benson with the blow-by, elevating, and gets it to go off the glass.
Well, they sure needed that. I was just going to say, this is the first time in the last 4 or 5 games that a team has not only matched, but maybe one-upped Cadillac's intensity a little bit.
Goike, speaking of blow-bys, whoa, what a crossover by the sophomore. He's got 7 in the quarter, and it's a 14-7 lead. 30 seconds remaining. Brooks is off the mark, and here comes Goike. He's got a 3-on-1. Across the lane, unable to finish his Copping, and that's going to go off the hands of Copping, they're going to say, and it'll be Cadillac basketball. I think what most impressed me about that move by Goike, Kevin, not only was that left-handed up off the glass, or the high glass, as Blaha would say, but he never slowed down. It was full speed to the rim, and he was able to lay it up there softly. Here's Benson again attacking the rim. DeRocher with the board. DeRocher, 1 second, will get it off, and it will roll around and in. That is a good bucket. At the end of 1, the Alpena Wildcats have made the 3-hour trip, and they are fired up. They've got a 16-7 lead. 8 minutes in the book. Second quarter coming up. You're watching boys basketball action, Big North style, presented by Munson Healthcare Cadillac Rehab Center, as well as Pizza Plus, Cadillac Tire, and High Point Cadillac GMC. We'll be back second quarter coming up right after this.